A very special thanks to all the volunteers who are standing with us today. I want to be clear that our top priority remains total and complete power restoration. Right now, fewer than 10,000 NES customers still don't have power. I've offered every Metro resource that NES could possibly need to get the lights back on for everyone. We will keep pushing them to beat their own estimates, and over the last few days, they have. My message to them is, don't let up till power is fully restored to all customers. We invited you here this afternoon so that you can see the recovery starting to take shape and the work ahead for all of us. That work starts now, and it's door to door, person to person, neighbor to neighbor. We and our partners at Hands On will be clearing debris, cleaning up, checking on our neighbors, and that takes on-the-ground leadership by city government, which I'll ensure. It takes all of us together as a city. And again, I'm pouring every Metro resource we have into this recovery, and we are working to create space for Nashvillians to help us have an even greater impact. And right here is what Nashville Strong looks like. As a key partner in our storm recovery response, Hands On is mobilizing volunteers into neighborhoods to spot pockets of need now, so that we can return with the Nashville Department of Transportation this weekend and then meet other needs in the days and weeks ahead. If you walk around this neighborhood, you'll see that there's still so much need for debris removal, electricity restoration, and in many cases, financial assistance to get needed repairs done. We're also working with United Way to get financial assistance to Nashvillians who need help repairing their weatherheads, and then again, the needs that go after power restoration. We're also working hard to get debris weighed for FEMA reimbursement and then cleared. This will take some time, but NDOT is ready to move quickly. Deputy Director Philip Jones is here to share more details about that process. Philip?
I just want to kind of take a second to thank all the NDOT employees. I've got NDOT contractors that's came in from out of town. They've been in here with us since the onset of this. All the partnership with all the other departments. I really appreciate all the support and help of us coordinating together has really went well. NDOT contract crews are currently out removing, cutting vegetation, debris from the right-of-way, including clearing roadside, sidewalks, bikeways, and more. We're running 4 to 8 pothole crews over the next few days. They will be out repairing emergency potholes around the county. We anticipate potholes formally rapidly as temperatures rise and rain falls. Let's talk about vegetation debris collection. All right, as NDOT puts out, as we come around, we've got crews out, we've got a plan, we've got a full plan to put together to collect debris throughout the county. And over the next 2 to 3 weeks, everybody will get debris collection. We're finishing up, we're doing our second assessment starting today, just collecting data of where the hard hit areas are. We've got trucks staged out in the heavy hit areas where we'll get multiple collections in them because we would like to be able to get that material up off the curb where they'll have room to put more material. But this being a FEMA related event, and we hope for FEMA reimbursement, it's collected that way. So it's collected at the curb per resident. We have a monitor that's with every truck as we collect this material. Then it's taken to 4 different sites throughout the county that it will be ground and weighed. Everything's monitored, and this is treated as if we're going to get reimbursed. When this gets approved, we'll move forward that way. NDOT efforts so far have resulted in 6,300 tree vegetation and the right-of-way issues being resolved across the city. Yesterday, when we began the countywide sweep of storm vegetation, the contractor crew has already picked up 6,007 cubic yards of debris. We anticipate the first countywide collection to take 2 to 3 weeks to complete. You know, and a lot of this is going to be so weather dependent on if the weather's clear enough, we have good enough temperatures where we can get people out to help get the material off the private property to the curb and the right of way where we can get it picked up. That's going to play a role in how long it takes for us to completely recover. Please get all the vegetation, including fallen trees, limbs, and other yard material to the curb. You set it to the curb, NDOT will get it. Piles should not block fire hydrants, utility infrastructure, culverts, storm drains, or drainage ditches. Piles should not block sidewalks, bike lanes, or vehicle travel lanes. We've got extra crews going out today. We're clearing the bicycle lanes and the sidewalks. We're still dealing with some ice on some sidewalks, so we ask everybody to be careful while traveling in the city. Trash, construction debris, and other non-vegetative debris will not be collected. When we're suspending brush collection guidelines, and there are currently no size restrictions on piles at the curb. Size doesn't matter. If you can get it out in the right of way in the curb, we're going to get it picked up. Because we are conducting countywide collections, there is no need to submit a Hub Nashville request when material is placed at the curb unless you have a special circumstance. If you have a circumstance where you have a bicycle lane and a sidewalk, there's no place to put that curb, that is the call I would like for you to turn into Hub. Let me work with you to get that material, find you a place to put it so we can get it picked up and stage it appropriately. Over the next 4 weeks, we anticipate conducting multiple countywide collections. Once storm vegetation debris is collected from individual homes, it will be taken to 4 transfer stations that we've got staged throughout the county, where they'd be weighed and ground. These sites are temporary and only established for the duration of this special collection, and this is just for NDOT and NDOT contractors. These are monitored sites where we'll be weighing and checking everything in. We're following all FEMA guidance on the collections with monitors embedded with the crews, photographing and documenting every step of the process. As a reminder, as residents are out cutting and cleaning vegetation from your yards, remember to look up. And I'll give you a good example. Looking right here at this tree right here behind us, these are the type of things that we have that's out in this county-wide. We've already cleared over right at 1,000 of those, what we call leaners and hangers. Those are dangerous, so we're going to ask everybody to pay attention and look up that they propose a major safety risk. Please know that if you set your vegetation out at the curb, crews will come and get it. The initial collection may take a couple of weeks due to the sheer volume of debris, but we will get it. We appreciate everybody's patience as we work methodically through this process. Please know that we will get your material. And I'm going to be honest, I've been doing this. I've been here with the city for 32 years. This is probably one of the most or the biggest countywide impact we've had in this county that I'm aware with. So it's going to take a little time, but we have a good plan put together. We'll get everybody taken care of. Get your material out to the curb. We'll get it picked up.
Philip, thank you. And I think what you heard from Philip and what you've seen these volunteers working on today is exactly that process. The first thing we're doing right now with all this debris is getting it to the curb so it can be picked up. If you do see debris at the curb that hadn't been picked up, we appreciate your patience because it represents an opportunity to get a reimbursement from FEMA. So this disaster was enormous. The amount of debris is enormous. But we appreciate NDOT and those crews getting after it. Now, we've been taking big steps with NDOT to be better prepared for winter weather in the years leading up to this event. It showed last winter with updated snow routes and more state-of-the-art plows. It's now past time to do that with more of our electric grid. Taking the infrastructure that powers our city and starting to move more of it underground is a critical way we make ourselves more resilient because we know storms like these will continue to happen. We're committed to finding those opportunities to prioritize burying or co-locating utilities underground. We've already done this in some key areas, and we've started analysis on more. For instance, we can start by taking a look at our major roadways where Choose How You Move, our transit improvement program, is already slated to make large-scale infrastructure upgrades, and we have the chance to do additional utility coordination. Now, I want to be clear, Choose How You Move wasn't designed to be the sole source of funding for utility burial, and I don't want Nashvillians to carry the financial burden of any effort like this alone. But I would call upon NES to work with us on these important opportunities and investments. And this is also an opportunity for our state and federal partners to be involved in helpful infrastructure spending and regulation. This needs to be a long-term fix. Right now, NES is rightly focused on restoring power quickly to everyone. Next, they must focus on longer-term fixes to their infrastructure and operations. Improved underground utilities and a better crisis response must be a part of that focused improvement. Fixing our infrastructure is a long-term endeavor that is vital. We're planning for the future. But today, our focus is on getting the power back on for everyone, supporting the needs of our neighbors and helping Nashvillians. There are many ways you can be a part of that. Volunteering is one way. Go to HON.org and register to volunteer. We're going to need many hands for many tasks right away, including volunteers to deploy to neighborhoods just like this and help get debris to the curb. NDOT is coming to get it all, but we need it to be on the curb when they come. And there are going to be plenty of opportunities as people are going door to door to discover other needs for people who maybe did not call 211 during the crisis. Another way those who have the opportunity to do so can help is by donating. We have the Winter Storm Recovery Fund, and I'm excited to share with you today that the Tennessee Titans have just made a gift of $250,000 to help Nashvillians who've fallen behind on their rent or mortgage because of the ice storm. That $250,000 will directly support Davidson County's Emergency Winter Housing Assistance Program, which is housed within the Metropolitan Action Commission and exists specifically to help people who may be at risk of homelessness because of extreme weather conditions. And while we're out here helping neighbors where they live, I'm mindful of Nashvillians who could be struggling with rent payments because of this historic storm, and I want them to know that help is available. Now, Erica Mitchell is back with a progress report on how the Winter Storm Recovery Fund is going and how that assistance is getting to the community. Erica, thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. As we know, Winter Storm Fern has created real hardship for thousands of families, and this recovery is going to take some time. United Way's role is to coordinate help quickly and responsibly, especially for those with the greatest needs. 2 years ago, Hands on Nashville merged with United Way of Greater Nashville, which helped us enhance our ability to respond to the needs of our community in crisis. In a few minutes, you're going to hear from our Chief Growth Officer, Lori Shenton, about today's work in this neighborhood, which is the first step in a long road to stabilizing the families who have been impacted by the storm. Before we focus on the volunteer work that's underway, I want to update you on what we have been hearing in terms of our neighbors in need. Our 211 call center continues to see high demand, handling hundreds of calls daily and making hundreds of referrals for housing, cleanup, and financial assistance. Yesterday alone, they answered over 300 calls and made 900 referrals. A reminder that 211 is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and 211 is available for online support after hours. As of this morning, we have 859 cases submitted in our needs tracker. If you or a family member needs help, I urge you to go to NashvilleResponds.com and click on the Share Needs button. Complete the needs tracker. You're going to hear me say needs tracker a lot today. If you need assistance in completing the form, you can also call 211. And today is a perfect example of why that needs tracker is such a crucial part of our response planning. We're canvassing here today because we know that the need is great, and we know that our residents are completing that needs tracker, which helps us identify what services are critical to stabilizing our neighbors. To respond effectively, the needs tracker allows us to do this. We understand the type and the severity of the damage, identify where help is needed the most, and then we can coordinate nonprofit and volunteer resources efficiently. This repair assistance is specifically intended for residents who cannot afford repairs or do not have access to other resources, such as insurance, savings, or contractor support. Our priority is helping low-income households, seniors, people with disabilities, families facing hardship as a result of the storm. The program is not a replacement for insurance or private repair services. It is a needs-based, recovery-focused effort designed to help those who would otherwise be unable to make critical repairs. Resources are limited, and requests are reviewed and prioritized based on vulnerability and urgency. If your home was damaged and you need assistance with weather-related repairs, the first step is completing the needs tracker. On NashvilleResponds.com, click the Share Needs button, and you can also call 211 for assistance in completing that form. I also want to be very clear. If you cannot afford the necessary repairs to your weatherhead, the most important step you can take right now, again, complete the needs tracker and select electrical connection. I'll say that again. If you cannot afford the necessary repairs to your weatherhead, the most important step is to complete the needs tracker, select electrical connection on the form. That information allows us to understand the scope of the damage and determine how many households will need financial assistance to safely restore power to their homes. We're committed to providing assistance to our most vulnerable families, but we can only do that, again, if we get that needs tracker completed. Once submitted, a member of the response team will follow up to assess the situation, determine eligibility, and coordinate next steps when possible. So recovery takes time, and we appreciate the community's patience. If you need any help and don't have the resources to recover on your own, United Way, hands-on, we're here to help you. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. Today's volunteer effort is key to identifying where more help is needed. So again, we're asking every Nashvilleian who can to join us. If you have time to volunteer, again, reach out to HON.org. We need Nashvilleians helping one another right now. I've asked NDOT to move as quickly as possible to get debris picked up, and we need that debris to find its way to the curb, so please join HON.org. You'll find a list of a lot of different volunteer opportunities there. Right now, Lori Shenton and Hands On are looking for volunteers with some special skills. For example, if you can operate a chainsaw or other equipment to move trees and brush, we could use your help. We know the impacts of the storm will be felt long after the lights are back on, but the work that Lori, her team, and Hands On volunteers are doing ensures that no one has to recover alone. So I want to welcome Lori to share about Hands On's plans for the days ahead.
Afternoon. Thousands of our Davidson County residents have a long road to recovery, and Hands On, as part of the United Way family, is here to help restore our neighbors by launching the volunteer efforts. Recovery is moving into the next phase as we receive clearance to begin working safely in communities across Davidson County. Canvassing begins today, that's what we're doing here today, to assess damage and needs so cleanup crews can be deployed safely and efficiently. Volunteers are essential. The more help we have now, the faster the recovery can begin. Winter Storm Fern caused widespread damage across Nashville, and recovery will not happen overnight. We currently have over 1,200 requests for debris removal and cleanup reported to us. That number is growing daily as power is restored and families are returning to their homes. And I will echo what Philip said. This is the largest debris removal event that we have ever experienced. The work ahead requires neighbors helping neighbors, and that work starts today. Hands On exists to mobilize volunteers where they're needed most, and that moment is now. Before cleanup crews can safely and effectively deploy, we have to understand where damage exists and what residents need. Canvassing allows us to identify homes with debris or safety concerns, prioritize seniors, families, and vulnerable residents, coordinate cleanup efforts efficiently and safely. This step is critical. It unlocks the entire recovery process. Starting immediately, Hands On is deploying volunteer canvassing teams in impacted neighborhoods. We'll go door to door, gathering information, offering resources, and helping us build an accurate picture of need. The more volunteers we have now, the faster we can assess that damage, schedule debris removal, get help to the right places. We also need a homeowner's permission to help clean up property. When a Hands On team member or volunteer knocks on your door, we are asking for your agreement that you would like us, volunteers, to help with debris removal. Debris cleanup will follow canvassing once areas are cleared for safety. Cleanup efforts will focus on fallen trees and storm debris, helping residents who cannot safely remove debris themselves, supporting neighborhoods most impacted by outages and damage. Volunteers will be guided, equipped, and deployed in coordination with emergency management and nonprofit partners. Volunteer activity only takes place in areas deemed safe by emergency officials. Hands On is working closely with city agencies and community partners to ensure that safety, efficient deployment, and no duplication of effort. Nashville's recovery depends on volunteers, and as I mentioned, we need them now. Anyone who can give a few hours can make a meaningful difference. As we are evaluating what the needs are on the ground, we will start to post volunteer needs on our website. If you want to volunteer, now is the time to go to our website and register. Once registered, you will be notified when volunteer opportunities are posted. You can go to hon.org to do that, and I will say that we're going to be canvassing this neighborhood again tomorrow, and that link is up and already on the website. So if you're interested in getting started, please go to hon.org. Recovery doesn't end when power comes back on. Many families will need help for weeks and some for months. Hands-On is committed to showing up in the early days of response, throughout the cleanup, and during long-term efforts.
Thanks so much, Lori. And again, in addition to the city's emergency winter housing assistance program, Metro has also helped fund the Eviction Right to Counsel program. That initiative is housed at the Legal Aid Society of Middle Tennessee and the Cumberlands. You heard from them yesterday. The Hispanic Bar is also involved in that. We're working with them to get the word out and remind residents about this important resource. If you're confronting eviction, you've got a court date, please show up to court. Look for the Eviction Right to Counsel table. What I would say to Nashvillians who need help right now is this: you're not going through the impact of this storm alone. Tell us what you need so we can get you help. You can do that by calling the free confidential hotline at 211, or again, submitting them on the needs tracker at NashvilleResponds.com. You can also now visit our library. Library staff at branches across the city will help you get to a public computer or connect to free Wi-Fi and get to the needs tracker to tell us what you need. Again, you heard from Lori and Erica. We're canvassing this neighborhood door to door and several more to make sure we reach residents in need, including those who haven't been able to contact us yet via 211 or the website. To everyone who has stepped up to help neighbors over the past 10 days, thank you. So many people are putting hard work into the response and recovery effort, starting with Metro government and rippling through our community, with neighbors looking out for one another, showing up for one another time and again. Thank you for coming together, as Nashville always does. And let's keep going, because the work isn't over. And again, thank you to our partners in media for joining us today. You're a crucial part of the recovery too. And now we will take some questions. Alex?
Yeah, thanks for hanging in with the cold, Karen. You look the coldest, so I'll let you start.
Over the weekend, we called communication with NES unacceptable. On Monday, we spoke about the NES board, and today the chair said that she was confident in NES leadership. What kind of conversations have you had with the NES board since you last spoke on Monday?
I have not talked to them since we spoke. In fact, the last time I talked to the board chair was when she was at our office with NES leadership, so I haven't been aware of her comments yet.
Yeah, she sent me an email. Like today, I sent an email to all the NES board members, and her exact words were, I can read them to you just so we can get a reaction on this, if that's all right with you. So she said that we have confidence in our leadership team at NES, and right now everyone is working on getting power back to all our customers. As far as whether the storm response could have been done better or differently, that's something we will be looking at after this crisis is over. I just spoke to a woman that's still without power, read her the statement. She was pretty upset that the chair of the NES board has confidence in leadership team at NES. What are kind of your thoughts on that?
I'd say right now what I'm most confident in is that we've got more than 1,800 line workers out there looking to get power back on. We have been in daily touch with NES leadership just to make sure we're getting the best data out there possible for people to be able to plan and regroup with their lives and their homes. And we're focused on getting the power back on right now, and we'll revisit the issue as we go forward.
Yeah, and just in terms of the NES board, are you planning to have some conversation with them?
I expect we'll continue to talk to them. Again, they're not daily operationally involved. We're focused on those daily operations.
Who else? Austin?
He was too cold to
Defrosting? I understand that. Well, yeah.
So you said that we're in the canvassing stage right now, and then we'll be in the pickup stage, right? When?
Yeah.
So, like, for people who are, like, you know, looking at the stuff on their lawn, like, when can they expect branches to be picked up?
Oh, Philip, yeah.
Is there a date or a time range?
We do not have a date scheduled. Right now, we've got 30 plus trucks, you know, throughout the county. And these are not your typical trucks. These are the ones like you see come in for storm response. And we continue to ramp up as more stuff gets out to the curb. We'll have more trucks where we can keep the material up off the ground. So it's just about making a county-wide push. Some areas are smaller, so we're trying to get the big areas to where we can get the assistance to come in and help get more material out to the curb.
Right. So for the canvassing stage before we can get to pickup, like, is that a couple days or is that like a couple weeks?
We're throughout the county today. We started yesterday. Yeah, we picked up 6,000 cubic yards yesterday. We're picking up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I might jump in too. I mean, what you see, for instance, today there is we're trying to make sure that Hands on Nashville is an extra set of hands. Like at our house, I've already moved a lot of my debris straight to the curb, right to the edge of the alley. Listening to NDOT's instructions, but we know there are a lot of people that may not be able to lift a huge limb, and so we're getting some folks with chainsaws to help them. So today's canvassing effort is to try to identify more of those needs in hard-hit neighborhoods. I mean, we're standing here right by the kind of thing we'd love to have be safely removed. In some cases, on private property in particular, we're going to need extra hands to help residents who may not be able to do it all, and that's why Hands on Nashville is so critical to this. And this is a big coordinated effort where we're going to try to get everybody who can do it themselves, people who need a little bit of extra assistance, and NDOT's going to be there to pick it all up when it's done.
All right. Yeah, Austin.
I'm DeFrost.
Yeah.
Phil talked about this a little bit yesterday, but I'm curious as the focus kind of shifts more into recovery mode. We were thinking about potholes. Do we have an idea of the degree or the scale of how bad that problem's going to be moving forward?
Right now, I can tell you we had every pothole that was recorded taken care of yesterday. So as of this morning, we didn't have a pothole crisis. I do expect pothole numbers to grow. There's going to be more to come. We're ramped up and ready. We've got extra crews on standby to be able to respond to any demand that happens over the next few days.
I'll say, Austin, too, sometimes this stuff gets interrelated. When you get the freeze, you get the thaw, you get the main break, and water gets in and washes where all those things are. It's a mix of NDOT and Metro Water. You've also heard Metro Water's got crews on standby. They're addressing main breaks every day when they happen. Today's another colder day, but as temperatures warm up into the 60s next week, we'll expect a lot more reports. I've got a pothole to report on my way home, so...
The mayor is always a frequent Hub customer, but the only thing that I would add to that is that whether we're talking about a local road or a state route, the state routes will be the purview of TDOT. They can report it on Hub, and we will refer that to TDOT as well. Anything else? Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.